Welcome back to Midnight Viewing, the horror anthology podcast, where this season we're taking a look at George A. Romero's 1980s series, Tales from the Darkside. Sharing the Midnight View with me are the projection booth's Mike White.
It's 1935, everybody.
Out of nowhere, and the Culture Cast, Chris Stashew.
Yes, I sometimes even I am left with very little to say other than I've heard Taco is putting on the wrist.
Strange Love and the Unhappy Medium. Those are the two episodes from season 2 that we're looking at tonight. Strange Love, season 2, episode 21. This originally aired on May 11th, 1986. Written by Edith Swenson, directed by Theodore Gershuny, and starring Harsh Nair, Marsha Cross, and Patrick Kilpatrick. This is an episode that asks the question, how do you treat an ailing vampire? The answer is love. Or, this is the finest example of the FLR lifestyle ever to show up on broadcast television. What'd you think of this one, Chris?
FLR?
That's the female-led.
Yeah, okay. Man, what a bunch of non-up with the times folks we are as we sit here. Ooh, bunch of nerds on this podcast.
NMCF, right? Naked male, clothed female.
You always talk about that.
Wait, I'm not privy to this. What is this?
Oh boy, you don't know about this?
Category on like Pornhub and stuff.
Yeah, it's like a dude being jerked off by women.
Huh.
Or
Wait, what is the category again?
Clothed male, naked female. CNF. I had to look it up because I was just like, what the fuck is it? Like DDLG. You guys know that one?
No.
Daddy Dom Little Girl.
I know I know DDLJ.
No, yeah, well, of course you do.
Well, that's what I know. I know that. I don't know DPVD.
DVDA?
DVDA. Jesus Christ. We call it. Well, you know what they say? Overachievers are always out there. They live amongst us. What were we watching? This is not a great episode of Tales from the Darkside, and we are now banging into what feels like clunker after clunker at the bottom of the season here, and I do not understand it, because this is a show that was, I would like to say, almost consistently good to the point of us going, wow, there's nothing bad about this show, ? Because now we're at the end of the season, and really feels like the show's kind of hit a wall.
It's like a dumping ground, would you say?
Like a season 7 of Tales from the Crypt.
No.
But you said dumping ground. That's all I'm saying. Dumping grounds are dumping grounds, regardless of whether or not there's cement over them and it's an Atari ET.
You could say season 3 of Twilight Zone 85. Like it's.
I would, and I think I would.
Yeah.
I would. I'm not disagreeing with you. These episodes, broadly, these two are not great. And this one, I just don't understand. What possessed them to tell this story on this show? Because this doesn't seem like this kind of show's story. This seems like Night Gallery, to be honest with you. Shockingly Night Gallery, in a way that this show doesn't and hasn't really felt like, in my opinion.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah. I was waiting for Chris to say those 2 magic words, but he didn't. It might be 3, but I think the first one's a compound word. Lockout skit. That's what this one is. But yet it's stretched out to a full episode.
Especially after DVDA.
What the hell is going on in this thing? First off, she heals because she's a vampire. So She really didn't need a doctor because he's just like, oh, wow, look at how fast you're healing. Okay, maybe a cast, maybe some like an ace bandage. Doesn't require 12 feet of chain for this guy. Yeah, I was so confused. And like I said at the beginning, why 1935? They weren't in period costumes.
Because they're putting on the Ritz, Mike.
Is that what's going on? Are they affected by, like, here we are in between World War I and World War II? Ta-da! What?
It's a choice. It's a choice, as they say. They've made choices. And you know what? Sometimes you make choices that don't work.
Just omit the line. It doesn't even need to be there because it plays nothing into this episode. Yeah, wow. It was big old nothing burger. I don't know. I'm waiting for you, Father Malone, to tell us how much you love this one.
Yeah, tell us how much you love Marsha Cross from such great shows as Desperate Housewives.
And now I do love Marsha Cross. She's one hot piece of ace.
Yeah, I won't hear a word said again her. Marsha Cross from Melrose Place.
Yeah, but she's not good in this episode. Right?
Oh, I actually think she is. Guess what, guys? I fucking loved this episode. How about that?
Wow.
Oh boy.
How about
Oh
that?
boy.
Okay, listen. Let me take it apart like you guys were taking it apart because I agree with you, Mike. When they said this is 1935, I was like, it is? Well, what?
It's the bow tie for me.
Okay. Other ridiculous things. This woman breaks her leg while dancing by herself. She's a vampire. Are they uncoordinated vampires? Also, from shot to shot, the episode goes from cinematic to set bound. I don't understand why, because some shots look beautiful and other shots just look like we're standing on a fucking community theater set.
No, it's very minimalist. It's very minimalist. You're missing how minimalist it is. It's like that episode of Night Gallery, but done shitty. That's the problem. I'm with you, but I just don't understand how you like the episode, I guess is the problem.
You're with me criticizing it. Okay. I got that. I got that.
I guess I don't understand what is the part that appeals to you about the episode.
I liked it because maybe for the reason I mentioned the bit of kink at the beginning, the fact that this wasn't ultimately, which if this was Tales from the Crypt, this was a Tales from the Crypt episode, by the way. This is a Night Gallery. This is vampires. This would be
That's fair.
This would be a Crypt episode. And
poorly interpreted vampires too, just like Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah. In that case, it would be one or other of these male vampires wresting control from the other. And instead what we have here is more of a noir thing where we have the girl. But what I would have expected from Night Gallery or Tales from the Crypt would be that in the end she kills the guy too, and haha, there's a third guy, or she goes off on her own or something like that.
Right.
And it ended up not being that. It ended up being this, like, they wanted to be together. Sometimes, guys, that fucking does it for me. Sometimes just two people finding each other in an episode, like, just ameliorate the other problems. Yeah, we've seen this story 1 million times. Not a vampire who takes a doctor and makes him heal his wife and then chains him to the wall. But nevertheless, there was so much character and dialogue, and I enjoyed all of the character and dialogue in it. So I was rating it that way. I do agree. Like, why do you need a fucking doctor at all? It's a vampire. Just pop her leg back into place and off we go. Bob's your uncle. Unless they were just planning this from the beginning. I don't know. So anyway, overall, I enjoyed it. I think others might draw some enjoyment from it. I know if you're a fan of physical effects, like the physical effects guy on Tales from the Darkside is having a fucking field day this season. We had that one with, I'm forgetting her name right now, Carol Kane and Bud Cor, where it was all popping balloons and everything here. Now we have Harsh Nair doing all these physical effects as a vampire. I thought those were all funny.
Disappears.
Hardcore effects there. And the chain fight is totally ridiculous.
Oh my God, yes. Especially pulling apart those links. I don't even know how they had the strength to do that.
Oh my God. So
vampiric strength.
Listen, ultimately, gentlemen, I agree with you. This is a bad episode, but I love it.
I can't forgive Harsh Nair for killing Gandhi. Ever since then, it's just been like, sorry, dude.
Wow.
You're a bad guy.
Richard Attenborough, everybody.
All right. Our next episode is The Unhappy Medium. This is season 2, episode 20, aired originally on May the 18th, 1986, written by Edith Swenson, directed by Dusty Nelson. This one stars Connie Stevens, Carolyn Clark, Richard Coleman, and Peter Miller. This is about the children of the family of a recently deceased televangelist who have gathered to divide his fortune, though their benefactor might not be done with this world. What do you think of this one, Mike?
Oh boy. Yeah, Chris said we're betting 1,000 here, and I tend to agree. We're in a room, and then we're in hell, and we're possessed. Sometimes the devil's coming for you. We've seen this play out, not this whole devil thing, but like the greedy relatives at the will reading, and then something bad is supposed to happen to the worst of the bad relatives. But does anything happen to Connie Stevens at the end of this one?
She freeze frame.
Oh.
Wookie.
I think the implication is that she's about to be dragged off to hell as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She
Drag
got
me
Sam-
to hell.
She got Sam Raimi. Right?
Yeah. But yeah, it took a long time to get there. It took a long time. Yeah. I also had trouble just understanding some of the relationships, like the family stuff, and then yeah, pass.
Circle takes the square.
Yes, God.
I like the idea. I like where they were going. I wish that, to Mike's point, I wish that their relations had been clearer defined, because I think that would have helped the episode. I do think also maybe casting a woman who's also not, you've got blonde woman, brown headed guy. I don't know. The two blonde women are indistinguishable from one another at times in their what they're both doing, because neither one of them seems great. All of these characters are all terrible. And so they're all getting their just desserts, which I like. I don't mind terrible people, things happening to terrible people is not something I dislike. Go watch Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. That's literally that show in a nutshell. Bad things happening to bad people. That is that show. And Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Crypt, Night Gallery, those are all shows that share that kind of DNA of being mean to people that deserve to be mean to. And I feel like this episode pulled its punches a little bit. I feel like we just see the concept of hell. We are hell watching them. We don't see anything, which is so fucking cheap, but that's because it's a cheapness thing, which is fine. Again, I'm not complaining about the cheapness of the show. I understand having a budget. I'm just saying don't make it so goddamn obvious because you did it like 3 times. But again, at the end of the day, I like the setup. The execution's a little flawed, but I like the setup of this episode a lot more than I like the setup and execution of the last episode. But you, Father Malone?
I think it punked out. I think exactly what you're saying. Pulling its punches. My God, this is a Night Gallery episode. I wouldn't be surprised to see if Rod Serling wrote this episode. Nobody gets punished at the end of this. It implies that Connie Stevens will get hers, but not even. And the fact is, the antagonist of the episode, the televangelist who's been sucked off to hell, is still making an appearance. So is he even being punished? I don't know. Farley Flavors. I will say this.
I thought of that the whole goddamn time.
Same.
Fucking Farley Flavors, baby.
Fabulous fast food. Peter Miller, who plays Farley in the episode, when he becomes a disembodied voice, he sounded uncannily like John Aston.
I guess I can hear that.
It was. I know because I had to watch this episode any number of times, and there were a couple of times where I couldn't bear to watch it, and it was just on. And I swear to God, it sounded like Gomez. Maybe that's cementing the Night Gallery of it all. This is an episode about 3 relatives of televangelists. Now, I will applaud that in 1985-86 that they were taking on televangelism. Like
right.
The people hadn't really started taking them down yet, but this was one of the first salvos, I thought. So
Tammy Faye, baby.
Good for them about that. There was a movie came out around the same time called Pass the Ammo with Bill Paxton when Tim Curry as a televangelist. It's fucking great. Anyway, I liked the idea of taking that organization down, but the 3 lead characters are fucking goons, man. We've got basically the Tammy Faye character, who is the lead character's sister, and her daughter. Her daughter is a liberal she's so left leaning, she wants to get all the money and just donate it to charity. And then we have Farley's protege, who wants to take over the ministry, like that's his thing. But then come to find out that he and the daughter had a relationship beforehand. This is a very complicated episode for 22 fucking.
It is.
Yes, it sure is.
They had a relationship beforehand, which didn't work out, but it turns out he only got into the ministry to make money so he could impress her. So we're supposed to buy this fucking bullshit romance, right? Because that's where we're going to end up, because this is somehow not a Tales from the fucking Darkside episode. Nevertheless, this guy has been swindling people out of their fucking money for this organization this whole time. And she's like the liberal peacenik running around with the missions and stuff. Fuck both of them. She's I don't know. I love that, by the way, that this guy, who is as bad as Farley, as far as I'm concerned, like moralizes to Connie Stevens. You just want the money. You're just here for the money. It's like, you just gave us a speech where you said you only took this job for the money. Anyway, I know I'm picking apart things that I shouldn't just because it's a fucking terrible episode overall, but I had to watch it 7 times. So here's my thing.
Edith Swenson wrote 3 of the last 4 episodes of this season, and she sure did.
There may be a reason they're all at the back end of the season. Carolyn Clark, very monotone as an actress. Right after she gets possessed, Farley was here. I can feel him. Wow. Pretty startling.
Not a single Edith Swenson episode outside of so y'all know.
I told you before, season 3 contains my favorite episode of Tales from the Dark Side.
Oh,
So.
I'm talking about just season 2. I can't speak to season 1 or season 3. I'm just saying season 2. Why do we need a third? If they're all going to be terrible, why not just have 2? And then you've made this simpler. Why have the Tammy Faye character? Just have these two going back and forth. They're diametrically opposed enough. You don't need a third person in there to just add into the pile of asshole.
It was not good. I thought that the actress did a good job when it came to lip syncing, but yeah, the rest of her performance, I was like, okay, yeah, it was frustrating. It was just frustrating.
I thought the sound design for Hell was really good. We weren't going to get to see Hell, but I thought it sounded really good. Then she goes to another door and opens it. It's all laughter, and that's meant to represent heaven. So we discover that our 3 characters, are now trapped in this limbo, literally between heaven and hell, one door to one and one door to another. Go to heaven.
And that's, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my God. This is a binary fucking choice, yo-yos. What are you, stupid? Come on.
No, I want to wait around and hope I go back to Earth, or I could step into literal heaven. Just go.
Dante says no. Dante says before one goes up, one must go down. That's what Virgil said again.
This episode almost made me hate Creepshow lighting with their very clumsy red and blue light
Good. What a stylistic choice, huh? Echoing such better things.
It basically made her look shiny and purple instead of this duality within her.
And I loved Connie Stevens and was super happy when she showed up in here. I was like, oh, cool, great. And when she starts to get unhinged, I was like, okay, yeah, go for it. But just did not pay off.
I like that when we meet her, they're showing us a bit of the program, the television program that the ministry has been putting on. And they do her in close up and she says, I have the power, just like the last line that both our hero or heroine and the villain both throw at Connie are, ain't it wondrous? As if that's like her catchphrase or something. And that was the first I heard of it. What was that about? They bothered to put the third character in. They gave her a scene where she gets to freak out and all, but they don't even lay her in like that. Maybe that's her catchphrase. That's her Tammy Faye, whatever. I don't know. This episode, man. Oh boy.
They, like I said, I think their heart was in the right place, but I'm not sure that I don't think they're competent enough to land this plane because they worked themselves right into a corner. And then they were just like, it's fine. It's fine. We just worked ourselves. And look, hell got all of them. It's like, but why? What? If they had a choice, why did they choose anything other than heaven? They've made this quite possibly the stupidest episode of this fucking show. That I can't understand why unless there was a trick involved, which they never even said, no one in their right mind would be like, I'm going to hell just because I can. It makes no fucking sense. Zero. None.
To be fair, they do go back to Earth. The 2 lead characters walk off to Earth, but I hate them and I don't want them to have that money and I don't want them to give it to charity. I want Connie Stevens to have it, and I want her to get that ministry. 15% of nothing, she says. What are you talking about? That ministry must be raking in the bucks. Everyone wants to take it over. 15% is fucking good. Go retire. What are you talking about?
She just wants to go to hell.
She's
made that choice, and she's freeze-framed.
Like a 70s show. On the next episode of Midnight Viewing, we'll be taking a look at the last 2 episodes of Season 2. Those are Fear of Floating and The Kasavan Curse. Midnight Viewing, the horror anthology podcast, is a proud member of Weirding Way Media Group, and the theme song was composed by HP with an assist by Donald Rubenstein. Until next time, what are you doing? Where can people find it and such, Mike White?
Well, you can find just about everything I do over at weirdingwaymedia.com, except for the one show that we do that's a Patreon exclusive, which you can find at patreon.com/projection booth or patreon.com/culturecast, which is Rankin' on Bond, where every month we talk about a different James Bond film. And we recently had Father Malone on talking about Live and Let Die, which was a lot of fun back when I still was okay with Roger Moore as James Bond. But the bloom is off the rose. Let's just put that out there now. How about you, Chris?
I have also heard that every rose has its thorn. So.
It's like every cowboy.
This is a sad, sad song.
Well, if you want to hear more of the things that I work on, you can find it at Weirding Way Media, like these fine gentlemen have already mentioned. That's where all of the assorted audio diversions can be found, including this and so many other great audio programming that has very little, if anything, to do with me.
Yeah, you all know where you can find me. Listen, if you want to support if you want to support the midnight viewing, go over to patreon.com/Father Malone. There you're going to get episodes early and commercial free and some bonus content starting pretty much, well, by the time this airs, we'll have already started. If money's tight and you want to just help out anyway, give us a 5-star review, subscribe, like, share, tell someone else to listen. Thank you all for joining us here at Midnight Viewing. Until next time, go ahead and try to enjoy the daylight.